Hi, how you doing? Today I'd like to talk about RVs, buying new versus used. So, I'm on these Facebook RV sites and I hear a lot of comments about people buying RVs brand new and having more things wrong with them than they would if they were buying a used RV. Um, Slides won't work. They use too big of screws, and now they're protruding through the inside of the walls, or leaks, or fridge doesn't work, or AC doesn't work, or something. So back in 2019, 2020, when COVID started and everybody got locked down, well, all these RV manufacturers didn't want to stop making RVs. Um, so what they did was they hired people who didn't really know what they were doing, and they just keep making them. Um, Quality didn't seem to be a thing, or they just didn't care. We got money to make, let's pump these things out. So that's what they did. So between 2020 and I'd say 2024, um, anything, anything you get from any dealer within that year range is going to be garbage. Don't buy an RV from those years. They call it COVID era. Um, and that's how I'll refer to it. So when you buy an RV in the COVID era, um, you're essentially buying garbage because they're made really shabbily, and they're just they don't have the quality control that one previously were made. I didn't think they were made too well before then. Um, I myself, I wouldn't pay that kind of money for a brand new RV, uh, even if I did have it. Not happening. And if you're just getting into this for the first time, um, there's a learning curve that you're going to go through. So why spend all that money to learn on a very expensive item when you could learn on a cheaper used one, um, and have a little bit better experience and not be so worried about screwing up and breaking something. Um, so I just um, I just thought I'd put this out there because I hear a lot of comments about people buying new RVs, um, not really knowing what they're doing or what they're buying, getting cheated by by less than scrupulous salespeople, and and then end up losing out huge. Don't do that to yourself. Go buy a used RV, preferably um, off of a private seller, and you know you can still have it inspected. You probably always want to have it inspected, even if you're buying a used RV. Spend the money on an inspector. Okay. Here's the thing: is buying new. You're thinking that I'm buying an RV, I shouldn't need to fix anything, which is, should be the case. And anything that is fixed, you can have defective equipment out of the factory, in which case the manufacturer should honor that and replace that. But it seems like the greed overwhelms the service factor, and they're not doing that. So when you buy even a used RV, go have it inspected, and just keep in mind that it's a used RV. You're going to have to do some maintenance. You're going to have to fix a couple of things. But once those things are fixed, you should be good. I have had my RV for a month now. I had to fix the propane side of my fridge, which I'll show you guys one day. That's a good thing to know. And just a couple little learning curves along the way. But for the most part, I haven't had to do a whole lot to it, and a lot of what had needed to be done, I could do myself, so I did. And even after the fact, like I used to have a business. I used to have a roadside assistance business, but I've since closed the doors on that. I'm no longer doing that anymore, partially because of COVID and my COPD, and partially is because I don't have the cash to be able to put out thousands of dollars for advertising. From what I understand, it's a little bit easier to take off in the States than up here in Canada, and here on the Lower Mainland, everybody and their dog has a tow truck. So my little service truck is a little bit obsolete already. So I close the doors and on to the next thing. But even so, I have to sell my truck, and I have to buy a tow vehicle to tow behind my RV. So I'm not buying new, and to go out and buy a flat tow system, that's, unless you can pick up a unit that's been flat towed before, fairly cheap, you're gonna spend $5,000 to $6,000 to rig up a flat tow system on a vehicle that can be flat towed. Not every vehicle can be flat towed. You have to remember that. So my idea is to pick up a small front wheel drive vehicle, and what you see behind me there is a used dolly that I bought. I paid like $500 or $600 for this dolly. Here, I'll show you. So I picked up this dolly for $600. I'm gonna spend probably another couple $100 getting it fixed up. So this plate needs to be welded or replaced, and it needs a little love in certain places, and this needs to be redid somehow. But this dolly is it's in great shape. It's all metal. Might be a little heavier than your manufactured dollies. This was home built, and the guy that built this thing actually knew what he was doing, because it's pretty sturdy. It tows fine, tows great, but it's been used. But I'll take it over to a buddy's and buy him a bottle, and we'll get this thing worked on, and it'll be looking good in no time. So that's what I'm gonna do. Is I'm gonna use a toe dolly as opposed to a flat toe system. Just because for me it's more economical. I have no problem doing that, having hauled cars for 20 years. It's not a big deal to me. And yeah, even if there's problems with it, I didn't pay thousands of dollars to buy something that isn't working properly, even though it should, because it's new. So I urge you, if you're thinking about buying an RV, don't buy new. Not between the years. If you're gonna buy new, wait for a year or two and then buy new. Once all the manufacturers have all their workers back in place and the quality of their product has gone back up. Because right now, their product has anything but quality to it. Right now, everything they're putting out is garbage. Garbage, 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 and you do not want to own that. So, I just want to let you guys know I've been hearing lots about this. You know, especially if it's your first time, go buy a used RV. You will thank yourself in the end, because you're not spending a whole lot of money to learn on something that should work the first time, but probably isn't gonna. Yeah, just remember, between 2020 and now 2024, you don't want to buy one of those RVs new. But on that note, you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.